Some startups go up, others go down. Welcome to GeekWire's elevator pitch, where 3 entrepreneurs pitch their businesses in the 48 seconds it takes to get to the top of Seattle's first skyscraper, the Smith Tower. Over the course of 9 episodes, we'll narrow the field from 27 entrepreneurs to 1 winner. In this episode of Elevator Pitch, presented by Smartsheet, we'll hear from 3 startup founders as they pitch their emerging businesses to our panel of leading investors and entrepreneurs. Stephen Brandstetter, an angel investor and vice president at Smartsheet. He caught the entrepreneurial bug in college and sold his first startup to Active Network. Heather Redman, power broker and former Getty Images executive, who cuts deals as the managing director of venture capital firm Flying Fish Partners. Richard Tate, the motorcycle-riding Scotsman and mastermind behind the hit board game Cranium, who now stirs up new ideas inside Starbucks. The clock is ticking. Jump on board and ride with us on the elevator pitch and find out which entrepreneur has what it takes to make it to the top.
My name is Alexa Anthony, and I'm the CEO of Magic.ai.
Welcome to Smith Tower.
At Magic.ai, we use commodity cameras, computer vision software, and advancements in machine learning to monitor the health and performance of animals. Think of it like a fitness tracker without the wearable device. We could do everything from tracking the wellness and happiness of your pets at home to optimizing feed and water usage in cattle farming. But we have chosen the premium horse industry as our first vertical. Sport and racing horses can be worth millions of dollars individually, not to mention the emotional bond between horse and owner, and existing solutions are labor intensive. We estimate a $1.2 billion addressable market for U.S. equine. Before a back injury, I trained and competed at the highest level of the equestrian sport. I've developed a team of seasoned technologists. We are now launching our MVP after beta testing in 10 locations around the US. We are looking to raise our seed investment round soon.
Talk me through how you pricing and how you charge,
So we charge $100 a month per user or per customer, and our customers own a group of horses. When they travel to competitions, they take their horses with them. So we're also installed at these competition facilities, and we charge a daily rate there. So the goal is they can go to the competition facility, pay 15 to 30 bucks a day, and demo the product, hopefully want to get it at their home facility.
Were you able to charge for your MVP?
So we have 10 paying beta customers, and our first pilot competition facility deployed this summer.
Talk about what is your sort of defensible moat on the technology or on the customer acquisition strategy, or what's your defensible moat here?
So we have 3 provisional patents filed, and we have 1 published application in equine lameness detection. We also have a competitive advantage. I'll just talk a little bit about our competitors. So right now in the ag tech or the livestock industry, people are using a lot of wearable devices. So the pedometer, the collar on the cows, and this can be really challenging. I grew up on a farm. I know that it's not reasonable to have animals wearing devices all the time. You have to teach the staff how to use it and clean it and charge it, and they break. So this solution is not very scalable. So we're using computer vision machine learning to solve the same problem with commodity video cameras. You see companies like Caintus, a company in Ireland that's doing computer vision machine learning to monitor cows. And Alibaba just invested in a swine company doing the same thing in China. So I think we have an advantage that we're starting in equine because it's such a high value asset. They're concentrated. People are willing to spend a lot of money to be prestigious. They're willing to spend more money on their horses than I think farmers are willing to spend on their cows. It's a lot about margins for farmers.
One of my daughters is equine crazy, so I can imagine she's taking her horse to college with her. So,
oh, great.
But I'm wondering what would be the data, what would be the insights that would be provided? Just walk me through the experience.
My background, also, I went to University of South Carolina, compete on the equestrian team there. And the whole reason why I started the company, I had a horse named Magic, so Magic.ai. And I lost Magic to colic. So it was an illness that he got in the middle of the night, and I didn't know it was happening. So I started the company using computer vision machine learning. We notify people when there are these emergencies going on so that your horse doesn't die in the middle of the night. So we do these emergency alerts. So maybe my horse hasn't had water in 12 hours. Maybe there's somebody in the horse's stall at 2 in the morning that shouldn't be there. But we also do every time your horse eats, drinks, sleeps, moves. We do an overall wellness metric. And so each horse has their own profile. So she'll log into the app. She'll get these video replays of when the horse is having an emergency or somebody's in the stall. She can also track the overall health wellness. So
it's a baby monitor for a horse.
A little bit. It is very much
And
like.
how do you track when the horse is not in the stall?
Most riders have their phone in their pocket when they're riding, so we are using the back-end APIs for some existing apps where we can track how far the horses are going and how many jumps they've done. But for the most part, we use all of our data collection with the video cameras.
So it's all stall-based.
It is all stall-based, yeah.
Another great example of an entrepreneur with passion and a clear focus on who the target market is. And I believe her, my daughter would love to have constant interaction and monitoring of her horse. My questions around the stall is, for the time that the animal spends grazing or outside the stall, if we use the baby monitor example, you want to have constant knowledge of what's happening. And so you have to be able to get information around the whole horse's life. And so if it's out grazing, that's where a wearable may have a competitive advantage because the animal has it with them the whole time.
I think both make sense to some degree, and it depends on the application. I mean, one of my concerns about the business overall from a venture standpoint is, does the technology and the price point that you're using on the equine side, how do you take that into hog farming or cattle who are on an open range, wearable, really, what are you going to do? Have a drone, hovering over them for computer vision? There are a lot of just sort of issues about how does the business extend and how do you really address each market on its own merits. They've chosen computer vision because it makes a ton of sense in a stall. And then the other question is, how much of the business is based on data acquisition versus deep analytics and AI of predicting that this particular kind of movement means that your horse is at risk of being lame if you take them on a jump course that has these characteristics or something.
I like that they've already started to do some of that integration. So you've got the rider with their data, you've got the camera collecting its data, and I think you're right, they need to take it to that next step and get the wearable. But I like that, to your point, they're starting out very focused, they know their market, they've got a passion around it.
I actually wouldn't go for breadth in this case. I think the equine market might be big enough, and the pricing, I think she should go north with the pricing.
That seems cheap relative to what people spend on their
Right.
It's insurance, you're buying insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Once you own a horse, for everything else is like trivia, right?
And Remy, it's her lifestyle. So I think with that equine market, there may be the opportunity to just go deep. Because I like your insights into, it's not just monitoring, but it's the predictive analysis of what else could I change to help the performance of the horse improve.
Yeah. It's sort of like, hey, I tweaked the diet. Now what's happening in terms of all the other outputs? I mean, you're really a high performance athlete, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now, what are you going to do with
it?
Yeah.